So it has finally come to this. Me reviewing the fourth and final arcade game. Yes, I know it's not the final one, there's still Super Puzzle Bobble, but I can't get that one to work. But the final for this retrospective of arcade games. Puzzle Bobble 4. So is it good? Is it the best out of all of them? Or is my favorite gonna still be Puzzle Bobble 2? Well, Puzzle Bobble 2 is still my favorite, but you don't care about that. Hey, did you see the Dreamcast cover for Puzzle Bobble 4? No, why would I want to? Oh God! No! No, I can't do this. I can't look at anymore. I'm leaving. No. Can someone explain me how making Bob more realistic makes it more American friendly? The arcade version was released worldwide in December 1997. For the PlayStation version, in Japan it was released on August 6, 1998, in North America, August 1998, in Europe, April 15, 1999. For the Game Boy Color port, in North America it was released June 1999, and in Japan it was released April 28, 2000. I guess Europe realized that they weren't really missing much. For Windows port, it was released in North America on January 31, 2000. And for the Dreamcast port, in Japan it was released March 16, 2000. And in North America, May 31, 2000. And in Europe, June 9, 2000. Notable mention being this is the second game in the arcade lineup where you can choose different characters. The first being Puzzle Bobble 3. The playable characters are Bob, Alkane, Marino, Kuro, Tamtam, Cleon, Gigant, Devlon, Bram, and G. Just G. The unlockable characters are Monster, Willen, Paki, Maita, Dreg, and Madame Luna. What are these names? No, really, what are these names? It's like naming your child or Miss City Aspis. But what's the story, you may ask? Well, depending on the character you have chosen, in my case obviously being Bob. On the planet Boboluna lives the twins Bob and Bob. One day, the sun fails to rise because the fairy of the night, Cleon, has stolen the light source known as the rainbow for full moon Madame Luna. She splits the rainbow into 7 light bubbles. Bob then set off to retrieve these bubbles and restore the light and peace to that planet. Not before having a sibling fight, because why not? This is the only time I'll be mentioning the PlayStation version. But in those versions, the cutscenes have the characters actually express their emotions instead of just having one blank emotion like in the arcade. And the interactions between some of the characters can really be hilarious. There's this video I put in the link that shows a comparison between the English and the Japanese dialogues. There's not much difference, but the video is still enjoyable, so I recommend checking it out after this. The gameplay is like a more faster and more chaotic version of Puzzle Bobble 2, which I really dig. The only difference is that if you do a chain reaction of dropping bubbles, you can add lots more trash bubbles on the opponent's side, making it surprisingly a lot more fun than Puzzle Bobble 2. Yeah, surprising. Puzzle mode is the exact same as the Game Boy version of Puzzle Bobble 3, surprisingly. It even has the pulley string. And finally, with this version, the multiplayer. It is extreme chaos and it is extremely fun. I recommend playing it with a friend. There are other modes in the PlayStation version, but as far as I'm aware, they're not in the arcade version, so I can't really talk about them. So in conclusion, what do I think of this version? Well, surprisingly, this time around, we're in a scenario where the console version is the way to go. You see, the arcade version isn't that bad, but with the added content of the console ports, you'd better be off with that version. Also, lots of enhancements. But now, the Game Boy. So you're wondering, what would Puzzle Bobble 4, a game that looks gorgeous on consoles and arcades, what would it look like on Game Boy Color? Well, it looks like this. Well, how's this version, you might ask? It might even... I'm sorry. I just can't say it. It might even... It might even... It might even top Puzzle Bobble 3 on Game Boy in terms of how good it is. But unfortunately, it doesn't. The graphics I can forgive just a little bit, but not much. But what I can't forgive is the fact that the controls are back to being as sluggish as Puzzle Bobble 2 on Game Boy. Even worse than that, it doesn't control well. The modes are practically the same as the arcade version, so I won't spend too much time on that. However, I can say that every mode is worse than the arcade version. All the fun has been sucked out, and it's overall not that good of a port. But yikes, that graphic. But that's it. That's the last game of the arcade era I can cover. So join me next time for